Hey, we are live. Good deal. You're like, yes. We're talking miles, pay, home time, and so much more here at Decker Truckline. This is our live Q&A that we do every Tuesday at noon Central. So, welcome to July 1st, 2025. Just in case you didn't know. We are live. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. As they come in, I'll read them and of course answer the questions. If I can't answer them, if I don't have the answer for you yet, then I will come back with more details later on. Does that sound fair? I think it does, but those are my rules. No, welcome. Thanks you guys for joining me today. We do have a couple of different opportunities. I do want to give you an update on one of our recent short haul positions. That one is full. So we've talked a little bit about that one, and I want to make sure that you are aware that it is full as of right now. So the over-the-road refrigerated, the more regional refrigerated, we do have a home weekly refrigerated. Those are still currently available. The home weekly refrigerated does guarantee you home on the weekends. It is in a very small area, but smaller compared to our nation, running 48 states. And so this one is more Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, or more Ohio, Indiana area. So again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. If you have a zip code that you can give me that will tell me where you live, I can give you more details on what's available out of that specific area instead of being more vague. As more specific I can be, the better. Also, as far as flatbed, we have some awesome opportunities for flatbed. Great growth here in the last several months. So with our flatbed division, of course, we have our over the road, which we get you home about every other week. And then we also have our home weekly, again, depending on where you live. Our home weekly usually gets you in on like a Friday night or a Saturday morning, and then back out either Sunday night or early Monday morning. That's the norm, not a guarantee that it's on the weekend, but usually it is. That's how flatbed freight runs usually, right? Yes. All right, so that said, we have home weekly of opportunities available in the Southeast from Bessemer, Alabama area over to Atlanta, Georgia. They're on 20, anywhere along that route between those two areas, Bessemer, Alabama and Atlanta, Georgia, we can get you home on a weekly basis in the flatbed. So we do require that you have 6 months of flatbed experience. If you don't have that, but have a year of tractor trailer experience, we can train you in flatbed, but preferably you have the flatbed experience. As far as our other divisions, we offer training, however, with available trainers, as long as you have a minimum of 6 months of over-the-road tractor trailer experience, we should be good to go moving forward. So again, the best thing to do is actually this number that's flying across the screen, 877-233-2537. You can either give that number a call or 877-433-2537. Either number will get you to our recruiting department, and they will answer your questions more in depth on, of course, what we have to offer, what the process is, and all that good stuff. But we will go over a lot of that today. So, speaking of the process, once you found a position that you are looking for, that you're interested in, what we do is we get you pre-qualified, make sure that you don't have any major moving violations, no DOT recordable preventable accidents, you've got good work history, that kind of thing. Those all factor into the hiring process. That's step one. Then, of course, when we get the employment verifications and all that good stuff, then we also do, before orientation, we do your drug test, which is both the hair follicle and the urinalysis. We also have an online orientation that you complete before you come to Fort Dodge, Iowa, which is our main terminal. It's where we do orientation. So we do all of that. And then we have the, what do I say? We have, I want to say it's usually around 3 to 4 days of orientation. It's usually right at the 3-day mark, but if you're going to do any hands-on training with securement or anything like that, then you would get additional training. So once you've completed that, then you're usually on your, usually dispatched out. You've got the support staff, you've got your driver leader, you're assigned an ambassador, all that type of thing. The orientation, the 3-4 days orientation or so, that's in Fort Dodge. We do take care of your hotel and your meals while you're here. We pay you $500 for completing orientation, and yeah, you meet several people within the company, a lot of management, a lot of like contacts that you'll need to know in case you need something, and of course your driver leader as well. So that's usually the process for orientation. And then we put you to work. Yeah, you have 60 days before your benefits kick in, and those are medical, dental, vision, prescription, 401k, all that good stuff. The prescription is a $0 copay for generic, specialty, brand name prescription. So I was going to say opportunities. So those are all covered. We also have the virtual doctor, or like a teledoc. So we've got that available to you as well. And of course our EAP program, which offers not only a ton of resources, but also counseling sessions as well that are included in that. And the EAP is paid for by Decker, and that extends to not only you as the employee, but also spouse, dependents, so it extends to your family as well. Yeah. So what else do I got for you? The 401k is a 25% match. And as far as some of the monthly bonuses and things like that, those usually pay around the third pay period of the month following when you ran it. So it's about 2 weeks ago that we paid out our scorecard, our monthly bonuses, our scorecard, our safety bonuses. Those usually average a few hundred per person, who earn it. Of course, it's earned, so it's not guaranteed, but we paid out over $65,000 last month, as well as the month before. So yeah, some great growth opportunities there for the bonus. You do get a penny raise after 90 days. You get a penny raise annually as well until you hit our cap. Our cap is currently 70 cents a mile. And we have some sign-on bonuses. So depending on the division that you're looking to get started in, our sign-on bonuses could be $4,000, say refrigerated, $4,000 in some of our refrigerated divisions. Not all of our divisions offer the sign-on bonus, so I should probably put that out there as well. But most of them do. The home weekly refrigerated, the one that guarantees you home weekly, that one does not currently offer a sign-on bonus. However, our regional, or I guess more, it's still over the road, but it's 11 days out and 3 days home, and then our 2 to 3 weeks out at a time and 4 to 5 days home refrigerated opportunities. Those both offer a $4,000 sign-on bonus paid out within the first year. You get $1,000 on your 6-year mark. You get another $1,000 on your 9-month mark, and the remaining $2,000 on your 12-month anniversary. And as far as the flatbed goes, in our flatbed division, we have, in several of them, it is a $4,000 or $5,000 sign-on bonus. In the $5,000 divisions, it is $1,500 at 6 months, $1,500 at 9 months, and the remaining $2,000 on your 1-year anniversary. Same for the $4,000 payout as it is in the flatbed as it is for the refrigerated. 1, 1, and 2 at 6, 9, and 12. And then for the Midwest flatbed that pays $1,450 per week, that one offers an $8,000 sign-on bonus, and that pays out with $2,000 on your 6-month anniversary, another $2,000 on your 9-month anniversary, and the remaining $4,000 on your 1-year anniversary. So right there at 12 months. So yes, we've got some great opportunities for you. If you're interested in them, please give us a call, 877-433-2537. That'll get you going. All right. Other opportunities. We do have, I was trying to think of some of the more dedicated. We do have a team opportunity. It's an over-the-road team opportunity that'll get you home about every 4 weeks. And that pay has a base pay plus, of course, mileage bonus as well. That one is OTR, so it's not on a dedicated route. I know we do have some dedicated freight for the teams, but this one is not. This one's over the road, so you're covering for the dedicated sometimes, but other than that, you're all 48 for the most part. Running lanes for our different divisions. Our flatbed division, it's considered 48, but most of our runs are going to be east of like Colorado and east. We don't do a whole lot out west in our flatbed division. However, we could have some opportunities out there. Lots of Midwest. So whether you're in Texas, Oklahoma, whether you're in Illinois or Indiana, Pennsylvania, Missouri, the runs are going to be heavy within the Midwest, even getting you out, getting you home. With flatbed, home time is either, on a weekly basis or it's about every 2 weeks. That's about the norm for us on the flatbed division. And as far as refrigerated out time is 5 days out in that one regional that I was telling you about. And then we also have the 11 days out, 3 days home, or the 2 to 3 weeks out and home for 4 to 5 days. So we've got a couple of different availabilities. And I had another one for you. What was it? Maybe. All right, I'll have to think about that one. Benefits, again, they start after 60 days. Now, equipment is mostly the 579 Peterbilts. We are mostly Peterbilts. You'll see them all over. That said, it might not be the one that is available when you come aboard. So even though the majority, like over 90% of our fleet are Peterbilts, if you're coming aboard and we only have a Volvo or a Freightliner available, those are the ones that, that's what you'd be seated in. But of course, if you have a preference, we do like to know, just in case we can accommodate. A lot, like I said, 95+%, that's probably a low number there for trucks, are the Petes. We have some 579s, we have some 389s, which usually go to our veteran drivers, and then we have a few 589s. These are roomy trucks. They're newer models, so you're not seeing anything really older than 2 years. I'd say 3 years. 2 to 3 years is going to be the oldest. And as far as trailers, you're looking right around the 5-year mark for those as well. So yes, definitely newer model equipment. The the Volvos are either the 860s or the 780s as far as the refrigerated side. And then for the flatbed side, we have a couple of 740s. With the Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions, we have some of those that go either flatbed or refrigerated as well. So, a couple options. These trucks are fully equipped. I mean, APUs, inverters, refrigerators, and the refrigerators are larger now than they used to be, which is a huge plus, right? You're out on the road. Some of you guys are out on the road 3 weeks at a time, and some 4, especially, like think our teams. But it's nice to have a bigger fridge, freezer combo, right? So 3.2, I think, are what the newest models are. Anyways, we've got fridge, microwaves. We have a 22-inch smart TV in the truck, which is connected to EpicView streaming. I almost said satellite, but it's streaming now platform. The streaming platform offers free Wi-Fi, and of course, Decker provides the 100+ channels through EpicView, which is HBO, Cinemax, Showtime. There's 100 of them. There's a lot to choose from, so check those out. And we can give you a guide too if you're trying to figure out your way around it. But the smart TV, if you have subscriptions to others, you can, like Netflix or Paramount or Hulu, or I'm sure I'm missing others, but those are all available. If you have them, if you have those subscriptions, you can log into it with your smart TV. And as far as the subscription that Decker takes care of, the EpicView, we do have radio ready. That's the word I was looking for. Radio ready equipment for Sirius Radio. You can use that if you have a subscription. We don't provide the subscription for that. However, because we have EpicView, we have free streaming. So if you are book listeners or podcast listeners or something like that, make sure, I gotta tell you, please make sure that your phone screen is pointing away from you when you're listening to that if you're going down the road. Make sure that you get it ready to go ahead of time so you're no touching, no messing with your phone while you're out on the road. But yeah, if you listen to podcasts, streaming is a great resource, a great benefit, a little perk to have there through our Epic View. We also have the TransFlow app. You can have it on your phone. You have it on your GeoTab, which is in the truck. We have the Lytx system, which is our safety unit, which does include both inward and outward facing event recorders, lane change or following distance. I mean, it measures all of those. The inward facing cameras, those turn off the moment you turn off your truck. By the way, it's not a live streaming. It doesn't live stream. It will record if you hit a critical event, but when you turn off your truck, it's off, okay? And then if someone hits you, the inward one will not pop on. Like where if someone hits you within the first 4 hours of parking, the outward one will start recording. So you'll have that. What else can I tell you about amenities? We do have CB units in the truck as well. Did I mention that? Yeah, so all the trucks are equipped with CB units. They're all double bunk trucks, and they all have air ride seating, which brings the question, do you allow passengers? Yes, we allow passengers, ages 10 and up. So, yep, 10-year-olds, we can do that. It's a $25 a month charge. Found out last week or the week before, I can't remember. I think it was the week before. You can actually, you can pay in advance, like 6 months at a time, year at a time. I didn't know that. That was news to me for the insurance, but a little more convenient there. So you can do that. But yeah, we do have a rider policy. We also have a pet policy. It's a dog policy. So you can have up to 2 dogs, no more than 65 pounds combined, or 1 dog at 80 pounds. So you have that option. It's a $500 deposit for your pet. All right. And that was like the fastest I went through all of our benefits and everything. We're coming up on the 4th of July, which means that our shop hours are going to be adjusted just a little bit. I should probably mention what those are. Let me get my screenshot here in front of me so that I've got it correctly. Okay, so with everything coming on Friday. Oh, by the way, you should have had your paperwork in. All of your paperwork had to be in at noon today in order to get paid this week on those loads. Cutoff was at noon today because obviously the banks won't be open on Friday and we do direct deposit for Friday. So Thursday is when you will be receiving your direct deposit. Cool? Heck yeah. Of course, cool. All right, so with Independence Day being on the 4th, the Fort Dodge Truck Shop and the Fort Dodge Trailer Shop, the Fort Dodge Inspection Bay, and the Fort Dodge Wash Bay will all close at 11:30 on Thursday. I had to think about that. Thursday the 3rd, okay? Thursday the 3rd. And then, of course, all day on the 4th, and it'll open back up on Saturday at 7 a.m. So we'll be rip-roaring and ready to go at 7 a.m. And that's the Fort Dodge Truck, Fort Dodge Trailer, Fort Dodge Inspection Bay, and the Fort Dodge Wash Bay. Now, as far as some of the other locations, Fort Dodge Prep Shop, the Fort Dodge Body Shop, will both close at 3:30 on Thursday afternoon, Thursday, July 3rd, and open back up at 7 a.m. Just know everything's opening up back up at 7 a.m. except for Bessemer. They are opening at 6 a.m. on Saturday. So, the Inspection Bay, the Wash Bay, the Prep Shop, the Body Shop, the Decal Shop will all open back up on Monday, July 7th. July 7th on Monday. The Fort Dodge Truck and Trailer will be on Saturday, but the others will be on Monday, July 7th. That's what I should have said, except for Bessemer at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. What else am I missing? The Decal Shop in Fort Dodge, that one will close at 4:30, or excuse me, at 5 p.m. Des Moines will be at 4:30 on July 3rd, and both open up at 7 a.m. on Monday the 7th. Bessemer, 5:30 on Thursday. It'll close, and like I said, 6 a.m. on Saturday. It'll open back up. That's the shop. Hammond, 4:30 on Thursday the 3rd. Back open at 7 a.m. on the 7th.